My name is Samuel.
Samuel,
Yeah,
nice to meet
it's
you.
nice to meet you as
HIKARI.
well.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, my name is Samuel Leggett with JVS Media and Productions here at Middleburg 2025. I'm here with.
HIKARI.
I just got out of probably one of the best films at this festival, to be honest with you, Nazareno Family. I really wanted to see this at Toronto. I didn't get a chance to, so I had the honor of literally just walking out of it. And I was like, man, this film is so emotionally resonant. It's very vulnerable, but at the same exact time, it's very intimate. And I just want to give you all the honest accolades for that, because thank you so much for the story.
Thank you, Samuel. It means so much to me. Thank you.
So let's go into the questions. So the first question I kind of have is, when you were developing this story and understanding like there is an actual rental family business, like what do you think that they're really trying to get from this service? And then also, what did you want your story to explain of what the service is really for at its core?
I think the people who use this particular service, or really in general, there's so like renting a family sounds very big and kind of crazy. But they don't just do this. If you want somebody to just be there to talk to you, like I said, there's Mr. Do Nothing is very popular, right? He literally do nothing. He just sits across from you, or he just walk next to you, but in a city like Tokyo, the isolation and loneliness is really next to each other, right? It's like right next door, I would say. So for that, people are just willing to fulfill that void in their heart. I think people are trying to do anything, really. And also perhaps they just want somebody to talk to, or somebody to listen to, or just that presence of human connection is what people are looking for.
No, that's perfect, because that's a segue for me, because I think I understood you said 2019 is when you started developing this. The pandemic was probably one of the hardest times of my life personally. But I think the biggest thing about it is our disconnect from each other. Like our human ability to even touch, or our fear and our anxiety levels just started to grow. And it was just really rough. And I think that when I think about Philip as a character, I feel like he breaks down that border. Like the fog of what all that was, he's asking these questions, and it makes it so much more important. Like, okay, what do we need to regain again? Did you intentionally put Philip as that kind of character to kind of debunk, or?
Yeah, what I wanted to do was, you may have heard or whatnot, but Philip is kind of what I experienced as a teenager. When I first came to America, I lived in Utah, and I was pretty much the only Asian girl in this giant state, right? Or it felt like it that way at the time. And I just kind of flipped the idea, right? Philip being in Tokyo, and then what that looked like. And I think, but for him, I guess I should say, I'll put it back this way. I wanted the audience to feel or go on a journey with Philip. What if they are the one who's walking the street, just seeing this experience, like looking at this guy coming out of the coffin, or whatever that is.
Like, what is going on?
What is going on, right? But that's the reaction I really want the audience to experience what he's experiencing. So when he starting to take it more seriously, or at first just like, no, I can't do this, but now he really, bit by bit, he's more putting more he's more devoting
to it. Like he's devoted to the idea behind it. It was kind of like the moral side of it's like, should I do this? Then it's like, I have to do this, but then it's like, what's too much of it?
Right. And then there's that human connections that he's been missing in his life. Is get him in trouble, right? And we know he's gonna get in trouble from the moment she said, "유비끼리게만 웃을 수 있다라 하리세 뭐 너무스 you're gonna die." You lied to me, you're gonna die. 1,000 needles and die, right? So that whole thing is, we know as an audience, we know where we're going to, but how he's gonna navigate that, that's the fun part.
It's a journey for sure. And I think, speaking of journey, for me,
tell me, what do you think?
I think the thing is, there's another big thing that I haven't seen in a lot of recent film when it comes to Japan. So I'm a big anime fan. I love anime, right?
Great.
And
Me
it's like,
too.
as great as your script is, as great as the performance are, the idea and the visual aesthetic of Japan, like you reach all the different levels of it. Because a lot of times, you know, a lot of films focus on Tokyo and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't focus on the outside, they don't focus on the countryside, they don't focus on any of that. But how long did it take you to get some of this principal photography? Because it looks beautiful and it makes you feel like you're actually there. And I would always love to go to Japan, but I've never been.
Gotta go.
And so that's why I love anime. So it's kind of like, but seeing it with your film, it puts a whole nother lens to it. And I'm like, I have to be there. But how long did it take you guys to film a lot of those scenes?
Yeah, so the shooting was 55 days, 50 to 55 days. I can't remember. There's sometimes we lost a day here, 2 days here, but because it was kind of stop and go, or go and stop, because there was, after pandemic, we start writing a script, and then I would go into Tokyo and just start looking for a couple places, and like, this looks great, you know, just kind of get the idea of like what kind of places I want to shoot. And then also there's a pandemic, right? And then I got the job to shoot direct TeamJVS. So I took 6 months off, and I came back, I wrote, and then I got a job to direct Beef. So I took off for 6 months, and it was just like, okay, now back to this. Now I gotta go direct this. Now come back to this. So there's a lot of stop and go, and there's a strike as well. Right. And, and we were actually, before the strike was happening, we were like start location scouting, but then we had to stop. So it's just a lot of those, but gave me a little bit of more time to see what else is possibility. But most of the locations that you saw were not my first choices, because a lot of them fell through. And then like a week too, or something crazy happened too.
I wouldn't know, and I think the audience is gonna love every single scene.
Good, I like them too.
But I do want to talk about Brendan.
Yes.
He has this, I mean, of course, he's amazing in The Whale. Of course, he's been amazing in countless other films. But there's an innocence about him, and you can do it with his eyes, right? And he allows the vulnerability to kind of come through. But then you also looking into his eyes, and you kind of make a self-reflection. Like, what is he really thinking, and how do I really feel about it? And I felt like that was coming through perfectly for his character, because it's a gap in human connection. And so that's part of the reason the proponents of you casting him, I'm assuming, but like, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I always look for actors, and then when I mean, obviously some actors can do completely different, but sometimes project like this, I look for what am I seeing within individual actors that I really am basically in love to play this character. Like, what is the connection between these two people, right? For example, Mari playing the Aiko role. There's something very strong about Mari's personality, right? Very striking. She's beautiful, but she's also very strong woman too. She's a badass, you know, and that's something that I really want Aiko to be. There's something strong inside of her that we can feel it. Something about to burst out, you know. So going back to Brendan, he is such a kind soul. He's just like, when I said, when I saw him on the giant screen doing Q&A, he was like kind of like right, like, oh, everybody, like, oh. And it was so cute. I loved him so much in that moment. I just felt in my gut. And that's, you know, speaking of like really knowing, like you listening to your intuition or inspiration, it's so here. And I really listened to mine, and that got me to this point. So that's also another thing that is like divine being in you.
No, oh man, I don't want to spoil it, but that's, man, when that all comes, anyway. As far as the storytelling,
you guys just got to come to the movie theater.
You got to watch and see. You'll understand what we mean by that. But when it comes to the storytelling of this, there's a lot of different things you're dealing with, like whether it's grief, whether it's hope, whether it's love, hopelessness, right? And you kind of talked about like her character and Aiko. Like, I knew with certain scenes, I was like, I don't know if she feels as comfortable if she's what he's letting on. But then also with the character Shinji, when you realize what he's dealing with, it's like they're devoted to this, but there's a disconnect there. In some kind of way, he makes it go full circle. But when it comes to the storytelling of that, how did you deal with so many complex characters but maintain great pacing and not overshoot it? Because some people do it too much, and the pacing is off. And then sometimes you get an emotional resonant moment, but you don't get a memorable one.
Right.
And you had a perfect balance with that with your cast. I mean, I don't want to,
Thank
but it's just
you,
with the writing of
Samuel.
it. So I just wanted you to talk about that a little bit.
No, thank you. I think it was a lot of just trying out different way of cutting, like just trying out. Like I literally tried to. We had so many. I don't even know how many directors cut we had, And then it's like a finding what's the balance, right? What resonated me most? Like you said, if I give too much, like audience is smart. You guys are so smart. Like I don't have to spoon feed you, and this is the backstory, and I want you to figure out or sense what it is, And then I think for particularly story like Aiko, there's something happening, like but that you wonder why she's so passionate about, but she really cares for it. She really cares for her client,
Right.
and because she cares for herself too. She's trying to be that person that everybody loves her, and she haven't got there yet because she hasn't loved herself. Right. By her standing up to Tada, right? I quit. I'm done. She's really truly honoring her. She's respecting her true self.
Right.
And that's the part that when we see her later, she's a little bit different person. Now that action changes Tada too, right? Yeah.
No, man, I'm still emotionally compromised by this. I apologize, you guys. But no, it was amazing talking with you. If you had one thing that you want the audience to get from this film, just one thing, what would it be?
Whoa, one. Okay, let's go. I would say, can we do two? One.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make it one, but it's two. It's the families. Even though you don't have a perfect family, families, friends. Family could come from friends and a community you surround yourself. There's always a found family, but you have to be open to that idea. You have to be willing to try something new with these people. And I think the happiness can come from any directions. You just have to be open to it. Now, going to the second one. Divine being in you. You don't have to worry about if there's something that you don't know what to do, or you're kind of stuck. Just listen to your instinct, because that instinct is what you need to follow. Even though that instinct may take you to the place that you perhaps don't want to go, or you feel like you made a mistake by listening to your instinct, it's never a mistake. You're supposed to have that experience. And because you learn so much from it, right? You only learn from mistakes, is my opinion. So, sorry too.
You guys heard it here first. November the 21st. Go and check out this film. It's amazing. Thank you so much for talking with me. Congratulations.
Thank you, Samuel.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely.